Okay, we have a case study for Periwing. I'm featuring an awesome client. Her name is Carrie.
I am 47 years old. I am a nurse. I live in Boston, Massachusetts. I started having hot flashes around like 41, 42 and was told by my doctors that I was too young to. And I didn't know much about perimenopause, but I knew that it lasted a long time. And so I have been having symptoms for at least 5 years.
Carrie has been in Periwing. It's now been just 3 months. If you could just tell me what your goals were when you started the program.
I think my goal was pretty simple. COVID hit. I ate more. I stopped going to the gym. I was drinking a lot more. So I just was very unhealthy. I didn't feel comfortable going back to the gym. When I saw Periwing, it just seemed like it was going to be a really good fit for me. I know that I can't do it on my own.
And we do this over a long distance.
But it works out great because I need accountability.
In the beginning of Periwing, everybody fills out a symptom tracking questionnaire, and then I bother them to fill it out at intervals to see how the lifestyle and exercise and food is affecting their symptom outcome. Today, I'm going to be giving Carrie her results. After being on the program for 10 weeks, you went from a symptom score of 14 to a symptom score of 7. You had basically cut your symptoms in half just in 3 months. And you had improvements in these particular areas. You had improvements in joint pain, improvements in digestive issues, improvements in depression, and you had less muscle tension. And here's some really exciting news. So your waist went from 32 inches to 29 inches, and your hips went from 41.5 inches to 38 inches. So that brought you from a waist to hip ratio of 0.77 to a 0.76. Now in Periwing, rather than weight, we track the waist to hip ratio because that is actually a much more precise measurement of longevity. As you know, a lot of time in midlife, we tend to get weight around the middle, and that visceral fat is potentially, life-threatening as we age. So let's just talk about any noticeable benefits that maybe weren't addressed in the questionnaire, or you can elaborate.
Yes, I was having more headaches at the beginning. I rarely have a headache now.
How about your hot flashes?
They have just rapidly decreased.
Awesome.
I don't get them. I don't wake up in the middle of the night drenched like I used to. I feel like my hot flashes have really turned more to where I am emotionally. They are definitely less.
Do you find that you're able to actually talk yourself out of it?
Yeah, I recognize now that when I have them, that I feel like it's an emotional response more than like a physiological one.
I also notice the same. I have to let the feeling go though in order to get rid of the hot flash. So it's actually a pretty amazing feedback system for me in terms of my emotional state.
Yeah.
The improvements that you have made not only are good for your personal comfort in terms of the joint pain and the muscle tension that you're experiencing, the headaches, the hot flashes, and hopefully you're feeling a lot more comfortable now in your body.
Yeah.
Also, I think that the support that you have from the community.
It's a really interesting platform because I found that I could be a little bit more honest because I don't know people and they're not within my immediate community. I viewed it as like a safe space to kind of talk about symptoms and what's going on with you emotionally, and it just felt very supportive, and I really liked that. There's women who from all over, and that's what's really cool too.
Your gradual learning of these kind of stress management techniques, parasympathetic nervous system activities that we've been practicing, the improvements that you've made, God willing, are going to add to your longevity because backing out of those hot flashes is really important to your heart health. And something that a lot of women don't know, that, persistent and chronic hot flashes are linked to heart disease. So the more we can manage those, whether we do it through stress management, fitness, food, or supplements with herbs, it's very important to get a handle on those. So you're going in the right direction there. And then also your waist to hip ratio is definitely, the more we go towards, under 0.8, which you're well under, the more long your lifespan is going to be. Yeah.
And I just want to comment something about the, like what I have found helpful for me in this program. So, I always had a certain body type that changed when I had my last child at 36, and like I gained the weight. I don't know at what point I stepped on a scale. I thought I was feeling better and stepped on a scale mid, I don't know if it was like 4 or 6 weeks, but anyways, the numbers didn't change. And it derailed me for a week, right? Like my eating got worse, like, that type of thing. It was more like my eating got worse. And then I just decided, like, you never talk about weight, which I love. And I just said, I'm not going to get on the scale. And I had one, really great, like non-scale success, which was I fit into a pair of jeans that I didn't fit into for a while. But anyway, so I just want to say that I think that the other thing is, this is nothing about weight. This is not a diet. And I think it's really important for people to know when they're thinking about joining that this is a community of women that want to better their lives. And there is not a focus on a number and a scale. It is like being fit. I mean, the workouts are awesome. It's like, there's stretching, there is balance, all these things that we need as we age to stay healthy. And that's really what this program is. It's about staying healthy in the long run. And that's one of the reasons I really love it.
Awesome. Yeah. I always say I'm not a weight loss coach. And I know that that's a controversial thing to say because that's what sells. But the truth is you could lose weight and it could be muscle weight, you know? So, I mean, weight loss is not necessarily equal to good health.
That's right.
So, and also, we don't need any more of that messaging, that bullshit that we've gotten shoved down our throats since we were preteen.
Little. It's awful. And I think the other thing that I had to readjust to, that I'll just say, is that the meal plan, it was like more food than I had eaten in like a very long time.
Yeah.
And at first I was like, what the fuck? I was like, I can't eat all this. I can't eat all this. And then it was like this real process in my brain. And this is coming from someone who's never had like an eating disorder. So this is like, I'm just like a regular like person who's eaten in her life, but listened to like the media and like society. So, take that with a grain of salt. But, it was like, how can you eat all this and like look better? And let me tell you, you can.
I know there's no reason to feel deprived. There's no reason to be deprived.
Never. And so I think that that's another great thing about the plan, right? And and just, you really do feel better. Your body feels so much better. Your mind's clearer, less symptoms.
I want to just applaud you for making major lifestyle changes in terms of reducing the alcohol.
Thank you.
That is huge.
It's huge.
And in fact, if there's one thing that I could say to anybody out there, it's to reduce the alcohol or to cut it out. Because really what I find with my clients, once they get rid of that, their symptoms decrease, the inflammation goes down, the body composition improves, and the mood improves. So, I mean, it's so important for us in perimenopause. We need to keep our liver really, really optimized. And you are doing a fantastic job. So keep going with that, what your goals are now.
So my goal is very simple. It is like, I want to keep exercising, and I would like to get outside a little bit more.
Yeah. And actually it's one of my recommendations for you. So basically your goal is to stay the course.
Yes.
With all the fantastic work you're already doing. That's a wonderful goal.
Yeah.
Especially through this season. We are coming to a close now. And I just want to say thank you so much for being such an important member of this community. And
thank you.
Staying the course, because, you are getting results, and that's what I want. I want you to feel and look your best, and you're just going to keep going, and it's going to get better and better.
That's right. I agree. I'm loving it. So thank you. I appreciate your support.
Oh, I love it too. It's my life's work. So my pleasure. And, I do think that things will continue to get better, especially as we are able to work with your diet more now that we're doing the cooking calls. I think that you'll see a lot more improvements.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And, I'm really eager to have another interview with you like 3 months down the road.